This is the amp Vox built to compete against screaming Beatles fans. But even at 100 watts, it didn't stand a chance. In 1963, Vox developed the AC100, their most powerful amp ever, because the Beatles simply weren't loud enough on stage anymore. Paul was the first to get one, pairing it with a 215-inch bass cabinet built to push some serious volume. George and John eventually got their own AC100s too, each paired with cabinets loaded with 4 gray Celestion speakers and 2 mid-axe horns. Those horns gave the amp a whole different sound. Early versions were called AC80/100s because they pushed about 80 watts of clean power. Still, that was louder than just about anything else in 1964. Most bands didn't actually own these amps. They were loaned out by Vox. Why? Because buying one in 1964 would cost the equivalent of over $6,500 in today's money. In May 1965, Vox made a major change, switching the AC100 from cathode biased to fixed biased. The new version ran cooler and finally delivered a full 100 watts. But it didn't sound the same. That early Beatles tone, it only came from cathode biased models. The fixed bias version sounded like a completely different amp. The switch started around serial number 450 and up. And since Paul had the very first one, serial number 150B, that means only about 300 cathode biased AC100s were ever made. For all its power, the AC100 stayed simple: volume, treble, bass, and just 2 inputs. If you ever plug one in today, make sure you use a variac or a voltage regulator. These amps were built to run on specific power settings that you can dial in. If the voltage coming out of your wall doesn't match, the amp runs hot, killing the tone and shortening its life. The Vox AC100 couldn't drown out the Beatles fans, but it definitely helped define their entire sound.